everyone, and welcome to the Player Review Team channel. In this video, we'll talk about budget-friendly but still awesome TOTS cards from the French leagues, and also touch on a few players from the Eredivisie. It's going to be fast-paced and insightful, so don't go anywhere. So, if you didn't pack TOTS Dembélé, Barcola, Neves or even Pecho, don't worry, there are plenty of TOTS cards going for cheap that are clearly underrated. Plus, don't forget that every card gets a +5 chemistry boost for their league and links easily. Let's start with the attack line. Every year, Jonathan David gets a TOTS card, and every year it's a good one. What's interesting about this version is that he can play as a shadow striker in the cam role, which is useful for various formations. But even more useful is his first touch, which improves control after receiving the ball, trickster for getting into finesse shots, and of course, finesse itself, especially considering the 5-star weak foot. He's got a solid speed boost thanks to rapid, and even without lengthy, his top speed over distance is great. Plus, he has the physicality to shield the ball well. The left stick doesn't feel great, so we recommend engine. But for just 50,000, the card is excellent. Highly recommended if you don't need 5-star skills. The real surprise though was Mika from Monaco. It all started from playing against him, which made us want to test the card ourselves. And indeed, the first thing you notice is how easily he gets away, or simply bulldozes through strong defenders, and the low-driven shot is pure scripting. Again, it's another 4+5 card, and just look at that shot into a far corner with his left foot, no chance for the keeper. Also super useful is that he has Trickster, and you already know what to do with that, just find the angle and shoot. Additionally, his frame helps shield the ball and gives him even better shooting positions. Of course, Mika is a bit heavy and you could give him finisher, but we'd actually recommend marksman to preserve a bit of lengthy. All in all, the card reminds us of Drogba, so if you like the Ivorian but didn't complete him, Mika from Monaco could be your guy. Next, let's talk about Cherki, who a lot of people packed. First of all, his pace was surprising, and yes, Hunter is by far the best style for this card. Second, low-driven shot is always a big plus. However, the right winger role limits his attacking potential. That's why we see him more as a central or left cam, a spot where not just his passing and low-driven shot shine, but also his trivelas from range. The left stick is also excellent. Overall, definitely worth a try. Another good option for an attacking cam is Noah Lang from PSV. He has a pretty explosive speed boost and the same kind of low-driven shots. On top of that, he's got a solid frame, great agility, and of course, golden finesse shots, though they're somewhat average, so we wouldn't outright recommend him, but if you have him untradeable, he's worth a try. Now someone we can absolutely recommend is Amel Majri from Lyon, and to back it up, here's a long-range finesse from her 4-star weak foot. That makes her perfect for the left inside forward role. Again, the French woman has Trickster and Trivela, which are ideal for that position. She also has great speed boost and long distance speed thanks to her stats and rapid. But even more interestingly, you can use her in central midfield as part of a 3-man midfield, especially with her 90 rated defending stats, though she's still more of an attacking playmaker since she lacks defensive traits. Spoiler, this is one of those cards we didn't want to sell after recording, mainly because of how smooth she feels on the left stick. Strongly recommended. As for chemistry styles, we recommend Hawk, or just leave her on basic. She looks great on either. Another interesting pick is the player from Montpellier. On paper, based on her price, she's fodder. But in reality, she's a very explosive player with deadly low-driven shots and a golden trivela. Basically, she's a speed booster who can burn past defenders and slot in scripted low shots, though mainly with her right foot, her left one is clearly lacking. But overall, when the task is to outrun and punish, she delivers. So keep an eye on the player from Montpellier. And a quick word about Mertens from the paid seasonal pass. Honestly, he probably won't stay in our main squad due to lack of pace and a 5-star weak foot, but the card itself is great and very popular. So if you were thinking of buying the season pass, don't wait too long, though that applies even more to the Lala card, but we'll cover him later. Now let's talk about the midfielders we liked. First up, Tolisso was a pleasant surprise. He's genuinely strong and powerful, yet mobile thanks to his jockey. Fairly agile due to his skill moves and also has quality long ball passes. A very versatile option for any midfield role, even as a cam. Definitely worth a try. Rabiot, on the other hand, impressed us even more. For his size, he moves decently off the ball and feels very sticky in duels. The Frenchman has controlled lengthy acceleration and makes solid interceptions even without playstyles. But most importantly, he's super useful in attack. Whether it's building up or hitting a trivela, or even better, a finesse shot. Oh, and 5-star skills and 5-star weak foot give him not only flair, but also deadly finesse shots on his off foot. So yeah, highly recommend. In fact, this is another card that stayed in our squad. We suggest using Shadow to keep lengthy or Engine to clean up the left stick, since Rabiot can feel heavy on the ball. Speaking of mobility, nobody moves smoother than Vitinha, the pro scene's favorite. First of all, people love him for his left stick and total responsiveness, even when the gameplay is bad. Plus, this version has technical plus. It's not just for one-on-ones, it's great for that quick burst before a trivela, which gives the shot more speed. On top of that, the Portuguese midfielder brings a lot to the table, like intercept and elite passing traits. But we've always felt he's too vulnerable. He's great in every other aspect, but struggles in physical duels. Someone like Sawa handles pressure way better than Vitinha. Still, it's a top-tier card due to its responsiveness. So if left stick matters most to you, definitely give this guy a look. Speaking of left stick, Grace Gayoro is all about it too. On top of that, she intercepts even better and has insane reaction time and fast animation switching. This makes her a go-to pick in poor gameplay. Again, she's vulnerable in duels, but weirdly enough, we liked her even more than Vitinha. Before we move on to defense, let's just say there are tons of great TOTS midfielders out there. We only covered the ones we personally liked. You've probably discovered some others. So drop their names in the comments and tell us what made them stand out. As you know, in EAFC 25, the rewards for the weekend league are awesome, which means that the game has become much harder to play. Our boosters will help you to get the best rewards. Write in, because the number of spots is limited. And don't forget that we also sell coins at a cheap price. All links in the description. Let's keep going. We'll start with Alexandro, who reminded us a lot of Gabriel from Arsenal, so if you like that card, give this Brazilian a shot. Honestly, we liked Alex even more. Yes, he also sometimes lacks body type, but it's not a deal breaker. What matters is that he's quick, both in jockey and on long runs. Very easy to control, and Anticipate Plus often helps out. Overall, a sticky and reliable card we can confidently recommend. Then there's another Brazilian Marquinhos who's way pricier, which makes sense given he's from PSG. He's just as fast and sticky. He has excellent reaction time, which helps with predicting plays or reacting to lucky bounces. Again, we'll highlight the importance of Anticipate and Intercept. The downside is the lack of blocks, so even when you step into the shot path, you might struggle. Still a solid card, but we won't actively recommend him. And that's because you can get an Elite Singo from the Cup, for free. And as you can see, he's stacked with blocks and all the right traits. Honestly, this card feels like a budget Pacho, who goes for 900k. He's quick, powerful, relentless, and really sticky. Also well balanced, doesn't feel clunky at all. A very pleasant and effective player. Totally worth your time in the cup grind. That said, almost all TOTS defenders are high quality this year, thanks to their stats and playstyles. So if you miss the cup, don't stress too much. For example, this guy from Ajax really impressed us. We needed a left back for our TOTS squad, and he happened to be in the club. Even without lengthy, he's very fast over distance. Quickstep helps with his first few strides. And while we'd normally suggest Shadow for defenders, this guy works better with Anchor. Though even without it, his body type is super solid. You can even use him as a center back, surprisingly good at reading passes and positioning against attackers. Definitely one to watch. Another one worth mentioning is Lala from the paid season pass. Some say he's the best in his position, period. And honestly, we were skeptical at first, but now we can recommend him. Sure, he has minor issues with body type and top-end speed, but those are small things. The card is genuinely great. One last card to mention, we recently packed Renard. She doesn't exactly fit the theme of this video, but she's a good example of overpaying. Don't get us wrong, she's a good card. Great model and super agile. Feels like she has gold jockey for real, but she lacks aggression and bite. And since she's untradeable, we're still using her for now. But the price, if she were cheaper, she'd probably be on the bench already. And let's be real, you've probably fallen into that same trap before. In fact, Renard is a perfect example of this point. Don't chase the most expensive cards. Even cheap TOTS cards can fully meet your needs. Just give them a chance. Right now, we're at a point in the game where a solid competitive squad can be built in just a few days. And yeah guys, we hope you appreciate the honesty, especially coming from a channel that sells coins. Yet we're not out here hyping overpriced cards just for the views and sell coins. Still, if you want to support the channel, and not necessarily with coins or boosts, at least drop a like and subscribe. We'd really appreciate it. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. We'll try to answer as fast as we can. And subscribe on our Twitter, because we'll give away 25 millions. Yes, you heard it right. Thanks for watching and see you in the next videos.